What's up, everybody? It's your favorite complaints, favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Zeta Toys Brawl. And the reason why I say favorite complaint is because these tracks are super trash. Not unlike this tracks. Back to business. They're not great. We're going to talk about them in detail. We're going to talk about the issues that both the instructions, the tracks themselves, and the logistics of it all create, as well as, of course, everything else. Real quick, I bought this from GCI Toys. They've always been very good to me. The link to their store will be in the description. Feel free to give them a shot. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Accessories. First and foremost, it comes with the thing that you need the most in this set, which is more tracks. Comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more links, I'm guessing in case yours break. And you don't want any more of these, trust me, but it comes with these. And he comes with a firearm, simple sculpt. We got a little bit of paint accents there and some nice detailings and such, no issues here. And that will fit in this port here as well in tank mode. He holds it like a champ, and it's on a groove inside of his hand, so it's not a plug-in like they have been doing, which have been causing issues, so that's showing a little bit of progress. And 2 soft plastic antenna pieces that can plug into his turret. Now let's talk about the figure. So the head is on a ball peg. You get a good bit down, honestly, a good bit up. The swivel, confused dog look a little bit, and so forth. You get a little bit of orange paint there on the visor. It's like a flat orange, maybe glossy orange, but you know, it lacks that kind of really good looking visor, like chrome metallic stuff that we see in other pieces. So take note of that. Then we have the shoulders. So the shoulders are on a hinge inside the torso or the chest that comes out to an additional hinge that holds a swivel piece. So it's basically a double hinge shoulder that comes out to a swivel. So it almost acts like a universal joint in that regard. It gets you all the way up to here. Even if you have his head straight, you can get the shoulder all the way up, and I've even had it so that you can pretty much get both shoulders all the way up if you have his head straight on. And the swivel, so no real issue there. Everything works pretty much as it should. We have a bicep swivel. We have a single hinged elbow. However, there's an additional hinge at the bicep that if you use it, you can pretty much fake it to get a double hinged elbow. The single hinge, though, gets you 90 degrees on its own. The double hinge just helps you get almost the full bend. So that's fine. I think that's fine anyway. We got a little bit of a gold accent paint there. We'll take the paint where we can get it on this unit. We got a wrist swivel. Fingers are on a base pin knuckle, and they are all individually pinned. But they are all in typewriter hand pose, so not great. It's okay, but it's not great. Same for the other side. For the chest, we have some silver paint and some blue paint for the headlights. The blue paint on the headlights is sloppy as all get out. Let me see if I can't zoom in on it. Just not great. It's there. I'll take it. You can even make the argument that it's light sourcing. That's why it's outside of the lines, but whatever. It'll be okay. Then we have a waist swivel. That works fine. And then we have waist flaps here. They get up and out of the way. We got a little bit of silver paint down in there and a little bit of silver paint down in there. You can get the waist flaps up and out of the way. You got them on the back end as well. To expose friction universals, which gets you the full Van Damme. And if you get the backpack out of the way, the full Monty. Then we have a thigh swivel. That works fine. And then we have, let's see what we got here. A double jointed knee that gets you a pretty great range, all things considered. Moving down, we have silver accents, gold accents throughout, so that looks nice. Green paint and gold paint on the tracks, or on the, I don't know what these are called, the things that hold the tracks, and so forth. So all of that works okay. We're going to talk about the treads last. Don't you worry. And then we had the feet. The feet, you basically get a foot tilt down. You can get a heel spur, I guess, movement as well, which is okay. And then we have an ankle rocker that gets you pretty much the whole thing, and it's double hinged, so you can pretty much do whatever you want to do there. There he is from the back. Now, let's talk about these treads. So in the instructions, the treads So all of this stuff, you got a hinge here and a hinge flap here, and that's supposed to hold the treads in place. The bottom one does a pretty good job, the top one not so much. The instructions show that you wrap this around and you kind of dump this inside of the calf or shin. Real quick, I figured it was worth showing. So this is how they want you to have the tracks in robot mode. So around the tracks here and then loop-de-loop, which is fine. The problem is that this cover is not removable. So you can't really see what you're doing, so you kind of just have to hope and pray that you're getting it in this formation, which makes it pretty much a nightmare. So like, I can't figure this one out really because I can't see what I'm doing, and I'm not sure if I care. And then on this side, this one's done for you, it looks like, more so, except some have come out. And that's how it works. Now, the rumor is, and I say rumor because I haven't done it, I will probably do it at some point in this review. I'm not sure if I will or not. I'm not making any promises. If you take 16 links out, so that's the magic number, 16. 16 of these links, you get a tight-fitting track for robot mode. And then to go to tank mode, you would just have to pop on the extra 16, which I don't think is too terrible given the price point. At least it gives you the option, so I think it's ultimately fine. But this is frustrating and junky feeling. I don't feel like it's necessary. I don't need my tracks to actually roll on my tank. I know that turns some people's gears. It doesn't turn mine, but it's a viable option. This is a headache. This is a headache nightmare. And I would prefer that just not be there at all. However, I understand the route of travel they were trying to take. I just don't think it's ultimately effective. There he is with Unique Toys Brawl. So as you can see, he's a lot bigger. As you can see, the Unique Toys Brawl is a lot more effective at being a brawl, but that should give you an idea of at least, you know, size difference. There he is with one of their aerial bots, so pretty much the exact same size, so everything should scale just fine. There he is with some more tracks and some more tracks. Pull the backpack out. Slide open the chest, push the head down, push the chest back together. Bring these two shoulder pieces up. This one's on a slider. Actually, I think this one is no, this one is not. All right, so bring this up. You can turn it sideways if it helps you line them up. And then you want to turn it 180 anyway, and then connect them together. Open the forearm flap, tuck the hand in, close it up, spin this so that the grate matches, slide up. Same on this side, bringing these two pieces up. You can turn it sideways if it'll help get you the clearance. This one's a little tight. Tab together and collapse down. Open the forearm flap, tuck the hand in, close the forearm flap, rotate the bicep so that the grate matches up, close it up. Pull the crotch piece out and rotate it around, and then rotate the upper torso 180. Squeeze his flank in and rotate the chest up. You want to undo this tab here from this, where it's like a plug and a port, so to speak. Chances are it will have come undone by this time anyway, but you pull that out, you pull this out, you collapse Combiner Wars style. Hopefully you don't break your treads, and close that back up. At the bottom, collapse the feet, toes, then heel. One more time, hope to have it all in frame this time. Pull this flap up, Combiner Wars the leg in. At this point, you can go ahead and tab together the legs. Close this back up here. If you need to, you can pull up the flap, toe, heel. Make sure your track tabs are up on both sides. You want to collapse your arms into the side of the body. This double hinge, you want that to lay flat against the chest here. So it takes some finagling. Same for the other side. Now the treads have completely fallen off this one during the transformation. So just know that what you're trying to do is open up this little piece here, and then you fold this around. This will latch in to the side there, and now you have your tracks. This one operates the exact same way, but I'm gonna go ahead and feed the tracks through, plug it in, and then we'll go from there. And the last step really is getting this peg here into that plug, which happens pretty naturally, so you don't have to worry too much about that, and then you can extend the barrel. And there it is, and I like it a lot. Now let's do a size comparison with Tiger Tracks just to get that out of the way. I'm good with that. You know, the tracks roll. They work like a champ, so that is nice. Still don't think it's quite worth the trouble. But and this felt is eating it up a little bit. But take my word for it, it does roll just fine. The turret, because this piece slides in and like it doesn't slide all the way out, I can't get it to raise unless mine will slide further, and I just can't get it. So that's a little bit of a bummer. You can get this to turn, obviously. All of the flaps here open up. Not that you need them to, but they do open. Both of them open on both sides. All the silver detailing is a paint job on the turret. Looks nice. So yeah, I think this works really well for tank mode. You know, I could have dealt with some more paint and stuff, but I think that overall it's kind of fine. I think that it pulls this off successfully. Now let's do what counts. So we're gonna shove the barrel back in. We're gonna come to the other side. We're gonna untab the tracks and treads, or whatever you wanna call them, and we're going to flip these back around. At this point, I am going to remove 16 treads, and we're gonna see how it fits. That's 16 removed, and it does work like a champ. Holds nice and tight. I got this originally from John Lance. Shout out to him. He's been watching my channel, I think, since the very beginning. Good dude. And he put me onto that early, and I've been seeing it everywhere since, so thank you. We're gonna unplug our turret. We're going to undo all of our hard work of getting these arms to tab in on both sides, which the good news is it's easier to get them untabbed than it was to get them tabbed. We're gonna put our track stays down now, even though we really don't need them. We're going to rotate the chest back down, and when we do this, we're gonna take this little piece here, bring that around, and plug it back in to the side to lock the leg in place. And this is the type of stuff that makes me love this company. In spite of all its flaws, of which there are many, they know how to stabilize combiners. Nice. We're gonna take the arms, we're gonna pull the bicep out, rotate 180 degrees, and then flip this entire piece back around. Same for the other side. Pull out, so to speak. Turn around, fold underneath. We're then gonna put this back into place using the same method that we used for the tank mode. And I might do it off camera because it's giving me a bunch of grief, but you want this hinge down, and then there's a series of tabs and ports along the way that all plug in. We wanna get these pieces out here. This makes me a little nervous, because this doesn't seem like the most secure. I'm guessing this is how it connects to the foot. My track just came undone. And these pieces out here, but I am going to trust them because they haven't led me wrong so far. There, that was a pain. This is the other piece you want down, and it's on this side too. The last piece is fixing the turret. The turret's on a slider here. You want it all the way up, so to speak. Bring it down, tab in. So look. This is why I'm in. This is rock solid. Like, it works so well. I know what to expect. I know the bots weren't gonna be pretty. I knew, I didn't foresee problems like this, but I knew the bots weren't gonna be pretty. I knew there was gonna be issues, But I also had faith that this was going to work, that it was going to matter where it counts. And so far, so good. Final thoughts wise, this thing has issues. The tracks are a bloody nightmare. They really get in the way of you enjoying any aspect of this figure. The good news is you can take 16 links out on both sides, and you can have it solid in robot mode, and then you just have to reapply the 16 links when you get it into tank mode. The bot is clunky. It's not easy on the eyes. It's articulated, but because of how clunky it is, the articulation gets in its own way. The materials feel fine. The plastic is dense and chunky, which makes me feel good about where the combine mode is headed, but the build isn't fantastic. It sometimes feels like in certain places, if you pull too hard in some places or push too hard in some places, that you are going to pull, rip, or destroy something on this figure. And all of that is extremely problematic. The good news is this works really well. There's also tons of sculpted detail. It has some good mass and weight to it. The articulation is there, it just has a hard time getting out of its own way. The price is very affordable. And most importantly, I am buying this set for a Bruticus. And this feels very good. Very, very good. I don't have any real complaints about the leg mode, which is what matters most to me. Should all 3 modes be perfect? Sure, absolutely. It's hard to get a perfect mode, and if I am gonna get one, I prefer it be this one. So I can give it a recommend, at least for now, in terms of combine mode. Obviously, when I review the combine mode, I'll be able to give you a better idea. But as of right now, my faith is still solid and intact. But if you want these guys to just be able to display in all 3 modes, unless you like the aesthetic, I can't recommend it. But for combine mode, so far, so good. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.